Hello there, friends. Welcome to another one of my videos. In this one, I wanted to share my thoughts about the current events going on in Russia, although mainly just how a Jehovah's Witness would see it, and I just thought it would be interesting too because I was once, I was one, so I would know a lot about what they'd be thinking and what be going through their minds right now and why it's not correct. So first off, I want to start by saying what's going on in Russia is not is sad. Like, I'm sure me, like many of you, all of us do not want to see any more like any wars or battles or stuff like this. It's a lot of violence. It's a lot of innocent people that are in danger now, and I'm certainly keeping Ukraine in my thoughts and prayers right now. The people. I hope that this conflict doesn't go on too long and it can be settled. And I truly do. I don't. It's always sad to see stuff like this going on in our world. So, my thoughts on, like the Jehovah's Witnesses, how they would see this. And okay, so we all know if there's one thing that a Jehovah's Witness wants the most to see, or them as a whole, would be Armageddon to come, the end of the system. Well, as they call it. And they've published many articles on the end times. Like, there's lots of magazines, and basically every article is the same. Near the end, it just goes into how God's kingdom's gonna come and solve it all. Well, at least their version. And you know what? Jehovah's Witnesses, they've been predicting the end since the 1870s. And waiting for Armageddon since the 1870s. Like 1914, they originally said it was going to be the end. And then, of course, it didn't happen, so they had to change it to, no, wait, it was the start of the conclusion of the end. The start of the last days. And so over the years, they've always pointed to, like, pestilences, earthquakes, famines, wars. They've always used those, and that, like, trying to say stuff like, they've been happening more often, so we must be getting very close to the end. From what I remember being a Jehovah's Witness about stuff like this, well, one of the things they were always waiting for, one of the things that, like, as soon as peace and security is declared by world government, that would signal to the Jehovah's Witnesses, at least, that the Great Tribulation was about to break out, or Armageddon was about to break out. But of course, this is incorrect. And I can tell you why, because peace and security has been declared several times over the years. If you looked it up, you would actually find this phrase is quite common. I honestly find it, I would say it's kind of a disturbing mindset, really, for the average Jehovah's Witness, because they, like watching TV or the radio or reading a newspaper, they can't just sit there and watch like these horrible events happen and go on and not think that Armageddon has arrived. I've heard of a lot having nightmares about Armageddon even when they were in, like after they left and even when they were in. Now, me personally, I've actually never had any, or at least none that I can remember. I will admit, it's kind of ashamed to admit it. As a witness, yes, I did have that thinking of, like, I can't wait for Armageddon to come, but not so much of so many people dying, just that like it would represent like a definite end to all the evil and bring in a righteous system, a good system where there'd be no more death and suffering. But it was so COVID for many Jehovah's Witnesses, I know, was also certainly a time that, like, look at this pestilence, like, look, we've never seen anything like this in recent years. We must be so close to the end. There's just always like that, like this excitement in for that they're so eager for like death and destruction, and he's like, oh goody, this is it. And Russia now is currently the latest one with invading Ukraine. Russia's a big country. They formerly had the Soviet Union. I'm sure many Jehovah's Witnesses are going, oh look, this is it. It's finally happening. Like just another Russia. I know Russia has played a bigger part over the years in like the Cold War, the Soviet Union. Now I'm not sure exactly when the Soviet Union dissolved, but I know it's no longer there. And then of course, I believe I was still an active witness at the time when that letter writing campaign that all the Jehovah's Witnesses did to send to Putin, Vladimir Putin. Now, so I know that was 2016 or 2017, I'm going to guess. One of those two that, that Russia cracked down hard on the Jehovah's Witnesses there. So that in particular makes me very certain that a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses really think that this is it, given that King of the North thing. That this King of the North that they have, the King of the South, which I believe is the United States, and the King of the North, which over the years it's never really truly been pinpointed in my suggestions. Watchtower can only really guess. So I think right now, there must be thinking for sure it's Russia. So do you see a problem here? I do. They're like jumping all over the place. Like every time a major event comes along in a country, like, especially in that area, like where Ukraine and Russia are, they pin them as the King of the North, and, like, this is it, this must be it, because they want their Bible teachings and their Bible version to be true. And that's sad. A thought that definitely comes to my mind is that let's see, like that kind of thinking, like to think this is it and then it passes and then the next thing comes along, oh, this must be it, and then nope. I think it really shows that you don't have a solid faith sorry, in your beliefs, and it shows that you're easily swayed and deceived, really. Another thing too, it shows that they have like this gloom and doom kind of attitude, like wanting to see so much of this death and destruction. And you know, as a witness, I wanted the end, not so much for a lot of people dying, but I know there's a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses, especially the governing body, that can't wait to see so many people die. It's, oh man, like what a disgusting attitude. And it's laughable to me too for the governing body to keep doing this to their members, to be building them up like this, and then it doesn't happen, so there's a letdown. But at the same time, they've got all that pressure and fear mongering on them. But you can't leave. This is the one true religion. If you leave, you're doomed to die at Armageddon. It's so much fear mongering. It's sad. And I just wanted to share a couple verses with you from the Bible. Now I just gotta grab my Bible because I forgot to. Okay, sorry about that. The first one I wanted to share with you guys is just to leave you guys with a couple things to think about. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 verses 2 to 4. Okay, so that reads, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say, Peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief." So I think that verse is showing that, as soon as you think it's coming and then it's not, but don't get caught up in it. I think is, the essence of that verse. And the second scripture I wanted to read to you guys, something to think on and dwell on. Well, think about, sorry, is Luke chapter 21, verses 8 and 9, which reads, "And he said, Take heed that you be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by." So I really like this one, because verse 8, it says, "Many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time is draweth near." Who does that sound like? Jehovah's Witnesses, the governing body. How many times have they falsely predicted the end, and then it doesn't happen? It says, "Go ye not after them." And verse 9, you're going to hear of lots of wars and commotions and what's going on right now, and it tells, but it says, "Be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by, or not yet." So those are the scriptures I wanted to share with you guys. I really think they say a lot of just how wrong the Jehovah's Witnesses are, and how they really just promote nothing but fear-mongering in their members. And it's sad. So, those were my thoughts that I wanted to share. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.